Welcome to the Growing Truth Radio Network here on the T.J.Gholston Big Ten show starring T.J.Gholston and James Ernest. T.J., who's our guest tonight?
Tonight we have Enrique Shaw from Michigan State.
Oh, man, T.J., we keep getting all the bad guys. Shoot, with you being a Penn State guy and all. So I'm sure not a Michigan fan. But we're not going to hold that against him. So Enrique, tell us how you got started in football.
I got started in Little League. I started off at a park out here in Lexington, Kentucky called Shillato Park, and I was a Wildcat. So that's where it started. Then I ended up playing middle school football and high school football at Lafayette High, and played there, graduated in 06, and ended up playing at Michigan State in Grand Valley. And then I met TJ in arena football.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So did y'all play together or against each other?
We were on the same team. I got the pleasure of being on the same team with him.
Was that the Firecats or was that a different team?
The Cincinnati Flex.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all just played together.
Right.
Yes, we did.
I did not know that. That's cool. Small world. Yeah,
Small world.
Yeah, I was just, the whole Big Ten connection, but wow, y'all just were teammates last year.
Right.
I was going to say, not that Good Pastor will let me go into it too much, but what were your all's thoughts on your all's theme song for last season?
Where you talking about the
Mike Brown anthem? Yeah.
Oh, the Mike Brown one. Yeah, that was it. He did his thing on it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, shoot, I agree with you all. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, because he's got a new album coming out soon.
Yeah, I think he posted it on Facebook. Probably, I think it's on YouTube too.
Yeah, I was going to say it's nice to see him getting out there and doing things.
Yeah,
it's always good.
Yeah. So let's see. So growing up, you were down there in Lexington, you said?
Yes, Lexington, Kentucky.
Excellent. I was going to say, shoot, that must have been quite interesting being down there around those times with how well UK would, hit or miss kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, out here, I guess you could say out here when it was my time, we didn't have all this social media, so it was a little bit harder to get a scholarship. They used to just drive through Kentucky in Lexington. They didn't think there were football players out there. But luckily, John L. Smith, he was the coach at Louisville at the time. He stopped by one of the games, and I guess I caught his eyes. He offered me as a sophomore to Louisville. And then he ended up leaving Louisville and becoming the head coach at Michigan State. And when he left, he asked me to come along with him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What positions did you play in high school?
In high school, I played safety, strong safety, which we called the monster back at the time. I moved around, and running back and receiver.
Okay.
So it sounds like you were quite versatile offensive and defensively back then.
Yeah, I was long, man. I could stretch the field.
So any of your high school teammates end up playing anywhere?
Actually, no. Out of that year, I think I was the only one that actually went and played. So everybody else got scholarships. We had a lot of smart guys on our team. They got big school scholarships for their grades.
So you said the recruitment process with being in Lexington was a little difficult. There wasn't the social media or that kind of stuff nowadays. So unfortunately, it sounds like there weren't too many knocks on the door.
Oh no, I had a few. Cincinnati offered me. Basically everybody in Kentucky except for UK. That's why I was determined to go to Louisville and play against them. So
Nice.
But Marshall, West Virginia. There was a lot of Nebraska. There was a lot of different schools, but I kind of cut that down. I wanted to stay close to home, but then when I got the chance to go to Michigan with a coach I knew that really cared about me, came to my basketball games, my track meets, and he really, he really followed up on me. That was the only coach that ever did that, so I wanted him to be my coach.
Excellent. So sounds like he was very influential in not just your playing career, but was he also influential in your coaching career?
In my coaching career?
Yeah. Have you taken things that you learned from him and used in your coaching career?
Well, the thing that he taught me is to really get to know who you have on your team, because everybody has different players. Everybody acts differently when certain things happen, if it's coaches yelling or just, taking constructive criticism. But he always was a player's coach, so he actually got to know who his players were. So he was, he had your back. You knew he had your back. And
exactly.
I took that from him, and also because right now, me coaching high school football at Lafayette, my dad's actually the head coach at Lafayette, where I graduated from, and I have a little brother that's a senior on the team, and we went to back-to-back state championships, and we've actually lost to the Louisville team, but that's the first time in Lexington history that a public schools did that, and I think nobody's ever did that except Bryan Station went to 2, but I don't think it was back-to-back. But I like to coach with my father, which is he actually played for the Cincinnati Bengals back in '94, and I believe that's the time he played. But he's also
like '92 to '94.
Yeah, Eric Shaw Sr. That's my father.
All right.
Yeah, he was a linebacker, correct?
Linebacker, DN, big guy.
Excellent.
That's cool.
So do you feel you got your love of the game from him?
I wouldn't say I got my love of the game from him. I would say he showed me how to take the game to another level with more than my athleticism, because that's one thing that I learned as I continued in my career in football, is that everybody can move and run like you, but can they play the game of football mentally at the same level as you do? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's where he put that into the aspect with me. There's always going to be a 6'3", 220-pound corner that can run a 4.4 somewhere. There's going to be another that somewhere. But is he doing the same thing in the film room, studying your actual position and the other positions to know why you're doing what you're doing? That came from him and my coach at Grand Valley State when I transferred, Chuck Martin. That's another guy that I look up to when it comes to coaching. So there's a few people that influence me in how I do things, but it's just the love of being out there and teaching the right way to play football. It's not all about hitting. You use your mind as well. It's like a chess game,
How great is it being, the whole family aspect? You got your dad and your brother and you all working for a common goal.
Yeah, it's amazing because I'm the oldest of 7 boys, and the youngest is a girl, and we all play football. It's been in the family since forever, and this is the last one of all of us. And he got to watch 6 older brothers do it, and who did it this way, and everybody had their different paths, but he had the ultimate movie, so he should be all right now. getting recruited heavily, and I just pray that he chooses the right place.
Right. That plays a major part in it.
Yeah, plays a major part, just like you said with the coaching, and you gotta fill out who's who, because there's some coaches out here. I'm not saying all of them, but there's some coaches out here that really don't care about the kids. You know, they care about that check, and I understand money's part of it, but at the same time, if you're gonna do it the right way and get these kids on and being successful, because football doesn't last forever. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely right.
With your coaching career, and of course, like you said, there's more social media nowadays. Have you been able to get more of the players seen?
Well, shoot, I don't have to do it myself at all now. The stuff's out here so crazy. The kids can post their own highlight films from the Huddle, which Huddle is where we watch film at all the different high schools and stuff. So we get on there, and they can make their own highlight film themselves and put it out there. So I don't have to do it.
Oh, wow. You're making me feel old now. I remember when we would gather around and watch VHS tapes of the other team.
That's what I told the kids. I said, my highlight was on a VHS. They said, what's that? Should it go on a VCR?
Right. They're like, what? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because same here. I mean, it was just, everything was going to be, we didn't even have DVDs really yet. I mean, they were existing, but
they were expensive.
Exactly. Yeah, they weren't ponying up for that. So what's your team looking like this year? What's the aspirations for it?
For which one? My high school team or my little league?
High school.
Oh, our high school team right now, we're 1-1. We actually lost this Friday to a good team. It's called Scott County. We always put up a big fight with them during the regular season, and then we usually see them. It's usually them and us to see who goes to state or regionals and so on and so forth. But 1-1, we're looking pretty good. We got a new offense and a new offensive coordinator, and they got to settle in. Our defense is the most experienced part about it. But if we do what we need to do, I believe we can get back to state again this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably the same way as when I was at Dixie. They still grow them pretty big down there in Scott County, don't they?
Yeah, yes, they do.
Oh, yeah, we had a guy, he ended up going to Georgetown College, not the Hoyas, but in Kentucky, Georgetown, and pretty good player. They had a guy that looked like he was from, Wildcat, that Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes movie.
Yeah.
The big fella. Yeah, and look, I mean, he took our guy who, like I said, was getting a scholarship to play college ball, shook him like a ragdoll and threw him. Like it was nothing. It was amazing how big those guys were down there.
That's crazy.
So tell us about the little guys that you're coaching.
Oh, the little guys, they're coming together. It's a first-year team. We put them together. It's called the Southland Razorbacks. We have a 6U, a 8U, a 10U, and a 12U. And today the 8U and the 10U, that's the one I coach. We had a scrimmage today against a pretty good team out in Nicholasville, Kentucky. I think they were called the Jaguars. But they got some tough little kids out there, but our kids came to play today. So we put a little beat down on them, but it's, that's how it goes sometimes. You got to learn. That's why I said it was a scrimmage. But they're going to be pretty good this year. As long as they listen, that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to teach these little kids now the aspects of what you have to do when you go to middle school, go to high school. Because if you already know how to learn the offense and learn how to do a back pedal, know your holes and different routes and all that stuff, you have an edge up on kids that didn't get to learn that, because there's some I guess, other teams in the not just this league, but everywhere in the world, that they don't teach the kids the actual fundamentals of football. They just say run right, run left, you know. And that's one thing I want to bring to these kids is this the real way to play football, you know.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was going to say you're right. It's all about the details.
Yes.
So, TJ, any questions from you?
Yeah. Let's see. As far as well, kind of tell me about like your experience with college football, like, you know, just playing the day-to-day, you know, like outside of, you know, the regimen for, you know, football. Just tell us your experiences with, you know, trying to balance everything and, you know, just kind of like, yeah, just your experiences with that part of playing in college.
So I guess you could say since I got to play, be at Michigan State and Grand Valley, which are two different aspects of it for me, because going from a big D1 school to it's a pretty big D2 school as well, but it was very different in the aspect of college life, you know what I mean? Like when I was at Michigan State, you could go one side of campus and then drive to the other side of campus, and those people will never know the people on the other side of campus, you know what I mean? Like, never see them. It was just that big atmosphere, and everybody knew who you were. So you really had the eyeglass on you. Whether you were a walk-on or a full scholarship guy, new guy, somehow everybody on that campus knew you played football. You know what I mean? So you had to really watch how you carried yourself around campus, around the students, around the faculty, you know what I mean? Because if you didn't do it the right way, that's your scholarship. And I saw that happen a lot because people didn't want to take it, how can I say? I don't want to say take it serious because they did take it serious, but they took it for granted, if that's the correct way to use it, you know? Like, if you don't hold yourself above board and accordingly, you're out of there as quick as they can snap their fingers, man. And it really made me think as a young man at the time that I had to figure out what I was going to do, because I actually tore my ACL out there in my freshman year, so I got a medical red shirt. And once that happens, you realize that football wasn't everything, you know. It was you really had to think about what you were going to do with the rest of your life, because it could be gone just like that. So my aspect on college, other than football and how it influenced what I did, was just trying to figure myself out as a man. You know what I mean? It wasn't really any crazy stuff going on. You know how there's other stuff. We did parties and all that. Yeah, I had that aspect of it, but I really wanted to find myself and figure out what I was going to do, because I don't know if you know how you feel when you step on that field. That's one of the best feelings in the world, you know what I mean? And when that's gone, you really reevaluate life and say, dang, when I can't do this anymore, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So
right, you devote so much time to, you know, through high school and college, you know, with football and training table and, you know, study hall and all of that, you know what I mean? All of that time is taken up by that, you know. It's like once that's out of the picture, it's kind of like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah. And what's crazy is there's so many guys out there that's happened to, and they're not sharing that with the youth of the world. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing that's why I coach high school, because I try to tell them that it's not always going to be there. So if you're going to do this, do it for real with everything you got, you know. So
you mentioned about trying to find yourself. Is that what happened where you ended up going from Michigan State to Grand Valley? Because the way I understand it, you were slotted to start. Is one of the articles I read. After spring ball, they said you were doing phenomenal for them.
Yeah, I was, and some things happened between me and Coach D'Antonio to where I decided to step a different way. You know, it wasn't anything too crazy, but at the same time, it was a decision that I had to make. I had to remove myself out of certain situation that was going on at the time. I don't want to get all into it, but things. But I was dating a girl at the time, and I could have left the state and went D1 again and just redshirted again and sat out a year or whatever, or I would have lost a year. That's what would happen. And but I decided to go down a level so I could play, and ended up I was going to go to Saginaw Valley because it was still in Michigan. I could be with my girlfriend at the time, and I was playing ball. That's all I wanted to do was play ball. My dad always told me if you ball out, they'll find you. So I didn't care where I played at. I just wanted to go. But Chuck Martin from Grand Valley called me. I don't know how he got my phone number. The day before I was about to sign my letter of intent at Saginaw Valley, and said, do you want to win championships or do you just want to play football? And he said, well, bring your ass down to Allendale, Michigan, and get on Grand Valley's football team. And I did. I packed up my stuff and drove to Grand Valley, and they gave me a scholarship, and I played for a national championship.
So that's good. That's great.
So any plans on retiring anytime soon from football, or do you plan on playing like TJ for the rest of his life?
See, that's a big thing. It's, like I said, that feeling of getting on that field and running around, as long as my body can do it, I probably will do it. I might just stick to flag football, though. I don't know, unless I get the itch to hit somebody.
Yeah, I think my itch has been scratched thoroughly. That's the body telling me. It's like, the mind telling me I can still get out here and do it, but the body is like, hold on.
Yeah,
you're gonna need me down the line, and right now we gonna give you a whole bunch of years of being without pain. Now I'm waking up with aches and pains, and
he said, "Baby, I need an ibuprofen."
Yeah.
Yeah. But just a minute, TJ. You're addicted to football. You'll be out there. You'll have a walker. You'll still be in better shape than I am now. But yeah, you still be playing. He loves it.
Well, I love football. Honestly, that's when it's not playing the game now that, that I can still play the game. I feel, especially if I just play O-line all day, I could probably play till I'm about 50, 60. So I was like, I'll just play till, I said, well, my player tell me when I can stop. When the young guys start running circles around me and this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm like, it ain't happened yet. So I'm, that's why, that's my whole thing. I'm like, I want to keep playing, but then the problem is it's not playing, because that's when I feel the best, when I'm on the field. It's that other 21 hours of the day, those are the days where I'm not playing, where I'm feeling all the pains and everything. Plus, I got the baby girl and wife, and I want to have more kids, so, I want to try and devote more time to them.
Yeah, I understand. I got a 7-month-old boy, man, and he's trying to walk. So and my wife, and we all over the place, just like you, man. I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things where, like you said, you got to find something to fill that void, and I mean, you got like the perfect situation, man. Just coaching the little kids, coaching at the high school, being able to watch your brother play, coaching with your father. That's a good look.
Yeah, I was truly blessed, man. I needed that. That's what. Even though I still want to sometimes put on some pads and go out there and show the kids that I do y'all in, man. I still got it.
Right. I understand. I coached freshman football at Purcell Marion one year. Oh man, that's like you just want to get in there and do the drills with them.
Yeah, I do my drills with my DBs. I show them if I can do it, you can do it. Mm-hmm. They got to see it. Hey, we actually play Moeller in a couple weeks. In
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you play. It's a away game for y'all.
Yeah, away game. We coming out there for y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to come up there and see it then.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're quite busy with the young family and coaching both teams, and like you said, shoot the whole family aspect of it. That sounds amazing. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you are blessed.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, shooting like you were saying about the game up in Ohio or up in Cincinnati. Sounds like a lot of fun to check that out. So any final thoughts on just how football has impacted your life?
Man, all I can say is it's not only impacted my life, it's impacted the people around me that I got to travel and see and influence these kids at all these different places. And like I tell the kids all the time, it's not always going to be here. So figure out something else as well, So pretty much just grind it out until you can't do it no more,
Excellent. Enrique Shaw, thank you for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it. Learning more about Michigan State University, learning more about your team down there in Lexington, and just sharing the stories with us.
Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate you. Call me anytime.
No problem at all, man. I'll catch you at that Moeller game too.
All right, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the support, man.
All right, no problem, man. Have a good evening.
So for fans, thank you for listening to T.J.Gholston's Big Ten Show, and we hope to have another exciting guest next week.